And don't listen to your detractors. They're usually stupid.
It's hard to find ones that aren't.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, my name's Chris.
I'm Jen.
And this is World Wakers.
Okay, everybody. Isom 2 this time. We did back-to-back issues, even though they came out a year apart.
A little bit late to the game, but hey.
Well, you know, better late than never. So, with the second issue, how do you... Well, see, I hate to compare, but let's just go ahead and compare it to issue 1 first.
Okay. Well, actually, funny enough, there is one comparison I do have, and it's actually something that's very nice. Because, I mean, with our last review, there was no way they could have ever heard me, but that does mean that I'm not the only one who noticed it. There was a huge improvement in fighting scenes. Because, I did not lose track of anything that was going on, except for, I think, in one instance, where they skipped a little bit, but it was so little that when I first read it, I barely even registered it.
Mm-hmm.
So, other than that, and, well, I mean, that is another thing, too, is this one, there was a lot of exposition.
There was a lot, well, but the thing is there was a lot of exposition, but it was balanced with a lot of action.
Yes.
There was a lot of action this time. There was there was action last time, but what was it you said? You said that the first issue was setting up the city.
Yes, the second issue is setting up the world.
Yeah.
Because that was one thing I noticed the most, is we got a lot of what happened with the city, why the city is like it is, and also starting to find out what's around the city, and even more so what's around everything.
What's interesting is we get glimpses of that information, but it's not like a huge info dump. It's like, here's a sneak peek to what else could be out there.
If anything, they ran over, gave you a small hors d'oeuvre, let you taste it once, and then ran off. And it's like, I like that, come back.
Yeah.
But then there's another one in front of you, and you're like, you look at the conga line of people coming with hors d'oeuvres, and you're just like, is this bad or good?
Yeah. It's good.
It's good.
You get a lot of different flavors, but same meal, a lot of different flavors.
Yeah.
And it's, man, I don't know. I really liked the first one. I think I liked this one better.
I like both of them because there's just so much in both of them that the way they hint at things, the way that they do stuff, the way that they interact with the people.
Yeah.
And the way, that's another thing, is I was expecting maybe a little bit of a slower start of being in it. No, it slaps you in the face, second page in.
Literally.
Anyway.
But. No spoilers.
No,
this is going to be a spoiler-free episode.
As much as we can.
No, spoiler-free. We are going to be spoiler-free.
Yeah, it's going to be spoiler-free.
Yes.
Because on my notes, I was actually having a hard time finding stuff that we could talk about, at least I could talk about, that wasn't a spoiler. Because, my heavens, they put so many things in there.
Oh, yeah.
So many things. And the funny part is that there were actually a lot of stuff that we talked about in our first video that ended up actually being true, or ended up being implemented in a slightly different way, but still kind of set up an interesting position. We could say that it was addressed.
Yes. But not always how we thought it would be. Which I love. I love that.
Yeah, that's another thing too. And since it actually was on one of the covers, we could even say that there is a lot that we learn about Avery specifically. And even more so, because it says, oh, hey, here's his past, and we get to see his past. And that was handled in such a way that it didn't feel like it was cut short, but it gave you just enough information to finally understand exactly where he is mentally, why he's even doing all this stuff, and why he's so hesitant to actually go back and to do things. But I can't say anything more than else.
No, yeah, I'm not going to say anything more on that. But no, you're right. And we get, aside from that, as far as story improvements go, I wouldn't necessarily say that there was a huge leap of improvement, but there definitely was an improvement in the storytelling aspect. But at the same time, you can kind of see how they're cohesive.
Yeah.
Between issue 1 and issue 2, they are very cohesive. Even though they were written, they were not, from my understanding, they were not written at the same time. He wrote the first one, then they did the campaign for the first one, then he wrote the second one. And because I know for a fact that this one was finished, and then I think last month or maybe 2 months ago from today, he started writing the third one. So they were not all written together.
That kind of makes sense. And the one thing is nice is, though, he actually keeps his consistency very well.
He does.
Because Avery did not change in character.
No.
Sam didn't change in character either. Darren didn't change in character.
No.
The only thing we really... That's actually one thing is Darren, we saw... He didn't have that as long of a stint in this one. Mm-hmm. But we saw a lot more about him specifically.
Yeah. Personality-wise. Mm-hmm. Basically what he's willing to do, and a little bit of a hint of maybe how deep he is into things, which we've already kind of got a hint of that in the first one.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because it's not like we expanded the world a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But even though it was only a little bit more, we actually got to see just how deep the world building has gone, because Flora Spark is not in a void.
No.
There is no void. This exists in a global setting, and we do get that. And
not only that, this is not just, here's a little point of history here and there. We get a lot of history. We get a lot of this and that, and we see where certain characters tie into that history, especially since we get to see just a little bit more of Alpha Core 2.
Yes, I was going to say, I was going back and forth whether to mention it, but they were in the first one. But they're a little bit in the second one. It's a nice taster. Again, it's a nice hors d'oeuvre. Like you said.
It's like a little taste. Mm-hmm. Very small taste of exactly who these people are, what they're doing, what's their purpose, and also, there's a lot I want to say, but I can't say most of it because it gives away spoilers.
I would say, especially where it pertains to some of the characters that we have already met in the first issue, we get a little bit more of their flavor, a little more of their personality coming out. For someone in particular, some very interesting tidbits of history, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to say who. You know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yes, anybody who's read it already knows who I'm talking about. Very juicy, interesting tidbits of history there.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
I want to say more. Because,
I know, but God. No, spoiler-free.
Spoiler-free. But when it comes to the artwork, the artwork in the first one was great. Okay. This one, it actually does look like that there have been some improvements.
More like the artist is more comfortable drawing the characters.
Yeah, because, that's actually the big thing.
The more you draw something, the better you get.
Yeah.
Simple fact of life,
And whoever is doing that, their consistency is...
That's Gabe El Taib.
Yeah. You are doing a wonderful job, my friend, because that is perfectly consistent throughout the entire thing, and no details lost, and even more so, especially expressions. Mm. Whenever the expressions finally actually do come out, they are so... I don't want to say perfect, because nothing's really perfect, but they're pretty darn close.
I was wrong. Cliff Richards is the artist. Gabe is the colorist.
Well, they both did it.
This is why I have the book next to me, because I'm like, I think I had that wrong.
That way we don't put our foot in our mouth.
I already
did. Often. Too often.
So yes, Cliff Richards, Gabe El Taib, all of them, good job. One of the other things that I definitely wanted to mention was the overall quality of the book. Because it, obviously, there's only been 2 issues, but it definitely did not drop. No, this is the same really good, really glossy pages. I bought cover B, so mine just happens to be glossy. Although the cover for my first issue is a matte, and it's slightly textured. This one is nice and glossy. So
I like the mattes myself.
But you like the mattes?
I do like the mattes, but
I like the texture. I do like the texture, but I don't mind the glossy.
No, the glossy. Personally, the one thing is the glossy section not that bad, because some of them they put so much gloss on there, it's like almost a mirror.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But this, it's like perfect.
Yeah, no, because any angle you look at it, you can tell immediately that it's what that is.
Yeah, But so yeah, no quality drop. Actually, this one, the first issue had we said 92, but I believe it's actually the first issue had 96 pages. Okay. This one has 112.
That's actually really surprising because it did not seem longer.
No, it didn't seem longer at all. And the interesting thing is there was no price increase because of the pages. I paid, it was both of them $35. I remember hearing the reason why there was more pages is because he said he felt like he needed a little bit more room to get all the story in that he needed. So he actually, basically, maybe at a little bit of a cost to himself and his company, he put in extra pages at no extra cost because he felt like the story required that. Which I think is awesome.
That's really awesome because that, honestly, it just goes to show the guy has integrity in what he's trying to make.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the few things that drew you the most to it, and now that's actually drawing me more so into it because I've never been big for comic books, and I want to see where this is going. Mm-hmm. I want to see where the entire world is going.
Yeah. And
so.
Yeah, for sure.
You like his business practice and his like straightforwardness and how he deals with things and what kind of a product he's making. All of that has literally made two fans of people that don't really want comic books or haven't really wanted comic books before.
Yeah, I would say that. Like I said, I don't mind the medium. It has never been my favorite medium, and I will freely admit that. I enjoy some of them, but story trumps the medium.
Yeah.
If it's a good story, I want to know about it.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you with Isom too, I want to know more. Mm-hmm. Give me more.
Definitely want to know more. I am
hitting that dinner bell. Give me more.
But it makes me so excited because I know it's different writers for Alpha Core and Yaira, but they're basing their work off of the world that Eric July has created.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited because if you think about it, just a real quick comparison to Marvel and DC. That is so overwhelming to try and get into because there's so much content.
Yep.
That can be a detriment. On the other hand, there's a lot of stuff to kind of sift through and find what you like.
Yep.
With something like this, though, obviously there's only 2 issues. But you're getting in on the ground floor of what I think is going to be so much bigger. Give it 2 years, 3 years, maybe 5 years. Mm-hmm. And we'll probably be seeing this in stores, but if not, then oh well, and the face of comic books is going to change.
Yeah.
Entertainment has already been changing anyway, so why not?
Oh boy, yeah, that's been a bit of a hard change. But
yeah,
all that saying is, Isom 2, definitely awesome. Very good.
Very good. I would give it, in terms of story and everything, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10.
I will give it a 7 out of 10, but that's just because I'm a little petty and I want to know more.
Keep your pettiness out of it.
But, no, altogether, story-wise, I'll give it a 7.5. Fine.
So, how generous of you. How generous of you.
But, in terms of artwork, I would definitely give it an 8 as well, maybe even 9, getting in between there.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I'm most excited about is, 1, is how much they've set up, and 2, the quality of it did not decrease, even though that they're like, yeah, we're making money, so now people are to like us, so now we can just do whatever we want. No, he's increasing the quality every single time.
Yeah.
So it's, honestly, unless something big changes, it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah. Well, consider this. He said that he's... Again, let me give you my facts I know about Eric July. It sound like a weirdo, but I've heard him say before that he's done ghostwriting before. So this is not his first rodeo. Maybe his first time writing his own thing. I don't know. The fact that and I've heard him kind of say this in a sideways manner. He understands his own. He understands where he's at, but he's hiring people that he knows are better than him. Because that's where he wants to get to, from my understanding. At least that is my understanding from what I have seen, and the people that he is hiring. So to just that alone too, I tip my hat to that.
Yeah, no, because the guy understands. Is like, yeah, no, he wants to be in this, but the thing is, though, is these people didn't have a platform. What he did is he made a platform. He made a place for them
Yeah.
to come and be like, hey, you want to do what you want to do? I like that. Come do it with me.
Well, and the thing is a lot of them, they had platforms, but they got blacklisted.
Yep.
Because some of them are very, like Chuck Dixon, very big name in comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that someone like that would basically be set for life working for like Marvel and DC, but apparently not. So you know what? I get Eric July is here to pick up the slack. I guess.
For now.
Kudos to you, sir. And your very, very interesting story.
Yes.
And world.
World, story,
Characters.
Setting, everything.
Yes.
Just make more. Make them faster, please. I don't want to wait a year for the next one.
We won't. It'll be... he said...
Yeah, that's
kind
right.
of shooting for early next year, possibly, for the third one, but
Good.
we'll see. So, but hey,
Early
you know what?
next
If we get one book every quarter, and it comes out this high quality, I don't mind waiting.
Yeah, that is the downside. It's like, I want good stuff, but I want it fast.
Yeah.
But I know I can't have it fast.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
But
it's
happy.
fine.
But happy.
But happy in the long
Sad
run.
but happy, yes.
It's
Happy in
all
the
it's
long
all
run.
about the long
Hey,
run.
you know what? We get like Isom, then we get Alpha Core, then we get Yaira, and we just keep rotating the stories and then adding more and more on top of that.
Ugh.
Then we'll have plenty of Rippaverse content to consume.
Yep.
And I'm really looking forward to it.
I am too.
Be honest, you know what? Let's be honest. Eric July is one of the big inspirations of why we even started doing this.
That's actually true, yeah.
That's him, his creative stuff. We'll be coming out with our own creative stuff in the future as well.
That is true, because our next video after this is going to be a new segment that we are calling Wold Waker's Forge. To which Jennifer and I actually are both writers and creators in our own sense, having made books, and currently she's in the middle of writing and helping me write my own tabletop book.
Yep.
Which we'll be talking more on the Forge segments. But
yes.
Other than that,
yeah.
That's
something
spoilers for the future, and this is no
spoilers.
spoilers.
Oh no, we're supposed to have no spoilers. But yeah, no. Kudos to Mr. Eric July and everything that he's doing.
Yep.
Awesome inspiration. And thank you, sir, for showing us that it can be done. And don't listen to your detractors. They're usually stupid.
It's hard to find ones that aren't.
Yeah. But I think that's it for now. Go check out Isom 2. The pre-order campaign is still going until the end of August of 2023. And then from then on, we've got Alpha Core 1, and then Yaira 1, and then probably Isom 3. Lots of good stuff to look forward to. If you'd like to join in the conversation, leave a comment below. Some of your insights into Isom 2 as well. And until next time, stay awake, everyone.